Greetings and salutations. This is the Adjutant, and in this video I'm going to give you something that most people in the military never receive. Not because it's hidden, but because nobody ever puts it together. This is the military wealth blueprint, step by step, clear, simple, and if you follow it, it can completely change the financial trajectory of everyone's life. Now, let me say this up front. This is not about getting rich quick. This is not about, chasing some trends. This is all about, I should say, structure, because wealth is not built by accident. It is built by design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this today, is the exact structure. Now, let's talk about the problem. Most service members earn enough to build wealth, but they never do. Not because they're lazy, not because they're unintelligent, but because they're operating without a blueprint. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm certainly going to talk about things that can help you formulate a blueprint. Now, they make money, they spend money, they deploy, they come back, they get promoted, they PCS, and 20 years later, they look up and they realize they don't actually have wealth. They have income, but not assets. And there is a difference. Let's talk about what wealth actually is. Wealth is not your paycheck. Wealth is not even your rank. Wealth is not even your retirement check. Wealth is ownership. It is assets that produce income, whether you show up or not. And once you understand that, everything changes. Then there's pillars of military wealth blueprint. All right, there are 4 pillars. You miss one and the structure weakens. Ignore 2 and you know what? It's just going to collapse. So pillar 1, folks, let's talk about pillar 1. That's income control. Pillar 2 is investment discipline. Pillar 3 is asset acquisition. All right. Pillar 4 is time and consistency. And so we're going to talk about pillar 1, income control. You cannot build wealth if you don't control your income. Now, what I mean by that, folks, is simple. You must have a plan for every dollar, not restriction, structure, because if you don't tell your money where to go, it will just poof, disappear every time. So what do? You build a system. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Automate savings. Limit lifestyle inflation, sometimes called lifestyle creep. Promotion is not permission to just spend more. Promotion is the opportunity to invest more. That mindset shift alone changes everything. Now let's talk about the second pillar, and that is investment discipline. Now we're moving into investment. And let me make it simple for you, because people overcomplicate it. You don't need to chase the stocks. You don't need to gamble on trends. You need consistency. The thrift savings plan, also known as TSP, is one of the most powerful tools you have. But most people misuse it or ignore it entirely. Your goal is consistent contributions, low-cost funds, long-term perspective, not emotion, not timing, but discipline. Let's talk about the third pillar, and that's asset acquisition. This is where wealth starts to accelerate, because now you're not just saving, you're acquiring real estate, businesses, income producing assets. This is where you transition from worker to owner. And this is where many service members never go. They stay comfortable, they stay safe, but they never build. Then there's the fourth pillar, time and consistency. This is the multiplier, folks. Time is your greatest asset, but only if you use it. because small, consistent actions over long periods of time create massive results. Not overnight, not inevitably. So what does this look like in real life? You control your income, you invest, consistently, you acquire assets, and you stay the course. That's it. Simple, but not easy. Now, here's the final truth. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. And that moment never comes. Wealth is built by starting before you feel ready and staying consistent long after the excitement fades. And I can tell you from experience, from someone who joined the military at the ripe old age of 18, actually at 17, because I started in the delayed entry program. Had I really understood how everything worked, and hear me out, I'm not even exaggerating, I would have retired as a multimillionaire at the age of 38. And you can do it. You just have to be consistent, make good decisions, and you will certainly be able to retire much more with much more resources and avoid the pitfalls of life, if you will, than just going out there and just spending your money willy-nilly, as my mother used to say. You certainly want to have rhythm and structure and discipline in how you move out here in the world, particularly as a young service member, because it really, to a certain extent, doesn't matter how much money you make. It determines how you use the money. Look at money as a tool. If you use money as a tool, do the work now, you'll have an easy life in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. But it's about making good decision, understanding what is known as delayed gratification. And delayed gratification is basically, making these decisions now, knowing that in the future, your future self will certainly be grateful for it. And I can tell you, as someone who's retired from the military, who will retire from federal service and have other streams of income, now is the time that I certainly go to sleep at night thanking the Most High for all the decisions that I made, good and bad. We won't talk about the bad ones right now in this particular video. We're going to talk about the good ones. So that's something you want to certainly keep in mind. So there you have it, folks. I hope this has been helpful. This is the Adjutant, and I'll see you in the next one. I wish you all blessings and blessings. Shalom.